Good morning, good morning. What's up, early bird crew? Doing all you can do. Another vainglorious day in the neighborhood. Hope all is well. Woo! Started things off with Busta Rhymes. Look over your shoulder. Busta Rhymes' latest CD, Pick It Up. Busta Bus is back. The 40, 45 and over crew. Also, Busta is, well, good morning, cuz. Talking about, losing weight to get ready for the album. My lovely cousin, Vivi. I just saw Valencia, Vivi. So funny, isn't it, Vivi? When you get to be grown and you have a nickname. So then you start thinking about, the aunts and the uncles, how when they were kids got that nickname and it stuck with them their whole life. So you might be Valencia to the rest of the world, but you will always be Vivi or Slick V. Joe, Love Lady, my man's, that has to be the coolest last name in the game. Love Lady. Joe, I know you use that name for bad. Donovan, thank you, sir. Is that Donovan Lloyd? I think I know your nickname, young man. What's going on? Cedric, my brother, Clark. Oh, man. So, Slick V is in the house. Yeah, man. Yes, Donovan. Hilarious. Yeah, man. I saw where Busta Rhymes had gotten swole. And probably it's a combination of working out, eating bad. But Busta Bus was always thin, so I think he really got into working out heavy because he wanted to be fit. I think that's what's so funny, that most people over 40 who are in the gym for real, many of them have never been athletes or they were small. So they were trying to beef up, look a certain way. Now, those of us who are active in sports, we're the worst because we burn out. Been lifting and working out your whole life. Then you get to a certain age and you burn out. It's hard to get back in the gym and you compare yourself to your old self. I find myself doing that all the time. Comparing yourself to your old self. You can't do that. You gotta compare yourself to today. You know what I'm saying? Compare yourself to today. What's up, Rick? So like a brother, for instance, my brother Rick Ray. Look forward to hearing great words of encouragement. So Rick, as a Marine, Rick Ray has been a physical force his whole life, compounded by the fact he's a Marine. So Rick, normal people can't compare themselves to Rick Ray because Rick Ray has been in great shape and health focused his whole life. Now, not an excuse, I'm just saying, for instance, years ago, I did my first and only Marine Corps marathon, 26.2 miles. 26.2? Rick, 26.3. Anyway, Rick, by the way, is lifelong friend, Allison's best friend's husband. So therefore, he's my best friend. So anyway, I trained for a Marine Corps marathon. I'm talking about, now for me, it wasn't running it. You do a system where you walk 2 minutes and you run 2 minutes. You walk 2 minutes and you run 2 minutes. And you get through. Rick, on the day, the weekend of the marathon, he hadn't even been training for a marathon. He's like, hey, Mark, I think I'll hop in there. This brother, who hadn't even trained for a marathon, of course he destroyed my time. I was just trying to finish. But Rick, who hadn't even trained for a marathon, ran 26.2 miles. But that's Rick Ray. And when we're on this fitness journey, we don't compare yourself to other people. You got to compare yourself to yourself. And don't compare yourself to your old self. Because guess what? That old self is gone. Here's the good news. Underneath the new you, that may be flabby, not out of shape, that old self wants to get out. And when you start moving your body, that old self will reignite. It'll get fired up again. It'll say, put me in the game, coach. Something I think all of us old weightlifters do, which is bad, is the bench press. Most of us heavy old lifters look at 225 as a starting point and then usually throw 315 on to see if you still got it. And this is even if you ain't been lifting in a while. That's a great recipe for tearing up your shoulders. I'm telling you because I know. I did that with bench press and with curls. I curled like 60 pounds and sprung my arm. So again, no comparisons. You got to do you. You have to set a new normal for you. Okay? Malik, your nickname is Juggernaut. Oh, man. Oh, Malik. You're the best, man. You're the best. That's a great point, though. Speaking of that, I always get a chance to talk about my cousin. Vivi, I hope you don't mind. The other thing we must do, especially for our friends and family and people we love, is show patience and understanding. This physical piece is very personal. It's personal. It's very emotional. It's an extension of who you are. So we must show patience. We must show support and understanding. You know, be careful how you handle your loved ones as they get back on their journey. And be careful how you handle yourself. Forgive yourself. I'm going to talk about my cousin, Vivi. Valencia. I always say the greatest athlete in our family. And I'm serious. When Vivi was 15, 16, 17, she was a dominant basketball player, track and field. She's a beast. And then, was it Vivi junior or senior year, Vivi her time started to be slower than normal. And something that always bothered me was those people around her, not family, but track coaches, different people, commented about her times not being as great as they were. Now, what we didn't know was Vivi had a serious health condition. a life-threatening health condition. That was the reason. But like we do with these athletes, or even like I said, people we know and love, sometimes instead of us being patient, supportive, figuring out what's going on, we start commenting. Just think about how we do that with all of our people we love, our athletes, entertainers. We are quick to judge, boy. Quick to judge. So, let's not do that. Let's not do that on this journey. Sean Jackson, good morning. Oh, yes. LaShawn. Good morning, LaShawn. Rick, Mark's up right here. Rick Ray, damn you, Rick. But I promise you, now I'm going to put it public. I told Rick, so funny. Rick was in town with his lovely family. Rick lives in Hawaii. I said, yeah, man, I'm going to come to Hawaii and do that marathon. Rick always gracious. Yeah, man. Now, it's so funny. As I sat there at breakfast with Rick and his wife and my family, there was a part of me that was like, no, you're not. Now, not because I didn't think I could do it. At the time, I hadn't been running. I hadn't been walking. My legs, my hips were bothering me. And to be honest, Rick, when I said that, I meant it in my words, but my heart was not there as far as genuinely believing that I would take it on. But today, dude, I'm all the way in. And it goes back again. Sometimes we lie to ourselves, and we know we're lying to ourselves, and we lie to others. Sometimes you have to do it to get past whatever you're dealing with. I think I had a low level. I think I had low level depression, and I never acknowledged that because I'm always positive and up. I think physically I wasn't feeling well, and I wasn't acknowledging that. And so I said to Rick, yeah, man, meet you in Hawaii. But I didn't mean it. Now I do mean it, Rick. I'm ready. And that's how life works too. How you felt yesterday, not gonna be how you feel today. That's why every day is a new day. One of the Joseph Lovey, I know, you want your old self back. Yes, BB. End of junior year, throughout senior. I'm sorry, cuz I shared your story but it was heartbreaking. And I love you so much because you got through. You made an amazing life for you and your lovely son. And I'm proud of you. But that pain and that frustration you felt as a world-class athlete, have to deal with something and nobody even knew what it was crazy. So basically, my cousin's story, he got kicked out of this live. That's weird. So my cousin Vivi, what happened was she had a rare issue with her, involving her pituitary gland, and she happened to be in the hospital with a doctor who recognized it because his own child had the same condition. But if he wasn't there, they may not have ever found out what was wrong. And so they caught it, were able to treat it. Look at God. Look at God. All right, Rick. Yes. No, Rick. We're not going to do it together. I'm not going to slow you down. I'm not going to slow you down. I will be there. Look, all I ask, is that, Rick, we can stay at the crib and we'll do it, but we ain't got to do it together. I'm not trying to hold you back. Thanks, V. Love you so much. What's up, Alicia? And again, what's up? What's up, morning crew? I love it. Alicia, I told you, Alicia has fought through numerous health issues. And you know what? I love it because Alicia ain't no punk, okay? She's armed with her prayer warriors. She got her friends and family. And Alicia, your resistance, your resilience is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. We love you. And girl, you're an example. I think of one of my favorite stories about resilience is, and I don't know why this story, I love it so much, it's weird. So, and you've heard me say it before for those who see me before. When Richard Pryor burned himself up, when Richard Pryor set himself on fire, and you know, Richard, this is on his comedy special. When Richard Pryor set himself on fire, he said he's in the hospital. Now, wait a minute. And you're right, my cousin want to finish that story. So I told you about my cousin. Her junior, senior year, one of the top athletes in Illinois. Her time started to slow down. She was sluggish, lethargic. They didn't know what it was. And so Vivi says, it went undiagnosed for over a year, lost a basketball scholarship, University of Minnesota, going through it. Whew. Yes, it hurts not to compare yourself to the past, V, but man, that story right there, God bless you, baby. God bless you. So, Richard Pryor burned himself up. Speaking of my cousin Vivi, shout out to Uncle Will. Our Uncle Will was a burn victim. When he was a super young man, he was in a car wreck. They threw him from the car, but left his friends in the car burning. He went back to try to save them. He grabbed the handle, burnt his hand, deformed his hand. He tried to reach in and grab the guys out of the car. They pulled him in the car. And he's like, I don't think he was even 20. He survived, but he had burns like over 90% of his body. And we grew up with Uncle Will. So, in this Richard Pryor story, we're familiar, because of Uncle Will telling us, of how painful that is. After you get burned up like that, they have to tear that, they have to pull that layer of skin off. So this is after Richard Pryor had set himself on fire and went through the process. It's very painful, where they have to pull that burning layer of flesh off so your body can start to repair. And then also they can graft you. He's in the bed. Jim Brown comes in. And of course, Jim Brown, as Richard Pryor says, at this point, is Superman. Jim Brown, the greatest arm running back history of the NFL, rocked up, super strong, super tough, amazing afro, Jim Brown. He sits next to him. Richard's wrapped in bandages like a mummy. Jim Brown says, "What you gonna do now, Rich?" What you gonna do now, Rich? I know it was a long way for that story, right? But I love it because that is it. What are you gonna do now? You got the cancer diagnosis. What are you gonna do now? Your family perished in a fire. What are you gonna do now? No matter how bad life is, treats us, what we go through, after that event happens, you have to ask yourself, what am I gonna do? Or am I gonna mope? Am I gonna give up? Am I gonna quit? Or am I gonna strap my helmet on and say, let's go. Let's go until it can't go no more. I think that's the answer. I think that's it. So armed with that, there's nothing we can't do, or at least not try. You know what I mean? So it shouldn't scare us. It shouldn't scare us. Because at the end of the day, whatever it is, you're going to have to keep going or quit. Right? All right. So, Lisa. Thanks, Lisa. Cancer survivor. Oh, man. Thank you so much, Malik. Thank you, Warrior, Alicia. Okay, Malik. Warrior, Malik. That's something else. You don't know what people be going through. You don't know what people are going through. You know what? Vivi, amazing man. So, Vivi, I want to talk about, real quick, speaking of our uncle Will, who Uncle Will, we love some Uncle Will. Uncle Will's hair and scalp were burnt. One of his eyes was burned shut. One of his hands was super deformed. But that didn't stop Uncle Will from being sharp. Uncle Will put that suit on, didn't he? Uncle Will had his hats. Uncle Will had phrases. Man, what you talking about? Man, don't tell me. What you talking about? Uncle Will's from Chicago, so even when it wasn't windy and he was crossing the street with his hat on, Uncle Will had that bent down with his hat. What you talking about? Uncle Will, prime example of how kids don't know. All kids want is love. When our nieces and nephews came around and they were babies and they grew up with Uncle Will, they didn't even see Uncle Will's burnt hand or burnt eye or burnt face. All they knew was he was Uncle Will. Now the outside world saw that, but the kids, they didn't even see it. He was 19 when that event happened. Man, Uncle Will gave us countless hours of joy. Didn't he, V? Man, you gotta love him. Gotta love Uncle Will. Man, what you talking about? Man, don't tell me. Oh, man. Deidre, good morning. Yes, Richard Price. You know that story. Kenneth, I don't know what it is. I can't wait to see Kenneth. Because Kenneth, that let's go gets me fired up. Let's go. Let's go, Kenneth. For some reason, Kenneth, you are funny. Woo. Okay. Motivation. And Kelly Rowland. Woo. A dark-skinned friend just like Kelly Rowland. Oh, man. Yes. What you talking about? Uncle Will argue with you and they even arguing. Man, don't tell me. What you talking about? Oh, man. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Isn't that funny? He said you're asking about your handicapped uncle. Yes, Uncle Will had us on Checkers, baby. Oh, man. Yes. I'm sorry. My family. Vivi got me talking about family. I want you to do me a favor. If you still got that aunt, that uncle, that grandma, that grandpa, do me a favor and check in on them today. Just call them and tell them, Vivi, I need to call your mom, so send me Aunt Dorothy's number. I'll call her. Because we don't realize what effect that has when they hear from us. We really don't. And I tell you, when my mom was in assisted living in the area, when I come through, her face would light up and she'd be so proud. And I'm telling you, they really do look forward to seeing us, hearing us, bragging about us. I always tease Allison because her grandmother, when we would visit in Charleston, her grandmother couldn't wait. We were in Charleston, and she would, her grandmother, to her little friends, you know, little church members or just people in general. It's my granddaughter. She's a news anchor in Washington, D.C. They love it, man. They love us. They love us, and we love them. And they would love to hear from you. Woo! All right, so we've talked about a lot today. I hope you guys are ready for the day. Anything anybody want to get off their chest while we're here? Any comment, question, feel free. What is it? Is it Wednesday? What is it? Is it hump day already? Oh, Lord. Woo! So, you too, Elisa, have a great day. I had to laugh. So, you know how you waiting for some money? You know how you waiting on some money? And then you get to the point where you start praying for the check to come. Lord, please, let the check come. We say, V. Oh. That's right, baby. This technology. You know, I prayed. It got to the point. Hate to admit it. I don't say I like to. And I know it's wrong, but a part of me, I don't like pray for, Lord, send me that check. You know what I mean? I always feel like the Lord got a lot of stuff to do. So I finally started praying because I needed this money. So the funny part was the check came. But guess what? 11-day hold on the check. Oh, Lord. I should have prayed better. All right. Have a great day.